Have you ever noticed that when you say yes to something you didn't really want to do, something small shifts inside you? It may not be dramatic, it may not even be visible to anyone else, but internally there is often a quiet tightening, a sense of self-betrayal, a subtle loss of solidity. And over time, those small moments accumulate. Many people think self-respect is a feeling, something you either have or you don't. But psychology shows us something different. Self-respect is built behaviorally. It is constructed through repeated experiences of honoring your own limits. My name is Renata Karlinskaite. I am a psychotherapist and hypnotherapist, and I help people rebuild self-worth, strengthen emotional stability, and change survival-based patterns that were formed under stress. In this video, I want to explain how setting boundaries builds self-respect, not as a slogan, but as a psychological process. And at the end of this video, I will share free self-esteem affirmation software that can help you begin rewiring your inner dialogue and strengthening your self-respect from within. You will find it in the description below. Let's begin with something foundational. A boundary is not a wall. It is not punishment. It is not aggression. A boundary is a behavioral expression of self-value. From a psychological perspective, boundaries are linked to autonomy, and autonomy refers to experiencing your actions as aligned with your internal values rather than driven by external pressure. When autonomy is repeatedly compromised, self-esteem and well-being decline. Each time you override your own needs to avoid conflict, rejection, or discomfort, your nerve system registers that your safety depends on self-abandonment. Over time, this weakens internal trust. You begin to feel less solid, less clear, less worthy, not because you lack value, but because your behavior is not aligned with your internal truth. Self-respect develops when your external behavior matches your internal limits. Research in assertiveness psychology consistently shows that individuals who can communicate boundaries experience low anxiety, stronger identity unity, and higher relational satisfaction. This is not because they are controlling others. It is because they are reinforcing an internal message. My needs are legitimate. Attachment theory also helps explain this. If you learn early in life that love was conditional on compliance, you may have developed people-pleasing as a strategy for connection. In those environments, boundaries felt dangerous. Saying no may have led to withdrawal, criticism, or emotional distance. So your nerve system learned approval equals safety. As an adult, that pattern may still operate automatically. You say yes before you check in with yourself. You minimize discomfort. You overextend, and afterwards you feel resentment or exhaustion. This is not weakness, it is conditioning. But here is where self-respect begins to rebuild. Every time you set a small boundary, even imperfectly, your brain updates its model of yourself. Identity is reinforced through behavior. When you say, I can't do that, or that doesn't work for me, or I need time to think about it, you are not just managing a situation, you are strengthening neural pathways associated with agency, which is the experience of knowing you have choice and that your actions matter. Agency is central to psychological resilience. When people feel they have choice and voice, stress decreases. When they feel powerless or overrun, stress increases. Boundaries help you feel back in control of your choices. Importantly, setting boundaries does not require aggression. It requires clarity. A boundary is not about controlling someone else's behavior. It is about communicating what you will or will not participate in. For example, instead of trying to force someone to change, a boundary might sound like, if this continues, I will step away. The focus is on your behavior, your action, your limit. From a nervous system perspective, boundaries signal safety. When you know you can remove yourself from what harms you, your body does not need to stay in constant hypervigilance. Chronic stress often decreases when people learn they are allowed to protect themselves. Self-respect grows not from demanding respect from others, but from demonstrating respect toward yourself. And here is something crucial. Boundaries may temporarily create discomfort in relationships that benefited from your lack of them. This does not mean you are wrong. It means the system is adjusting. Psychological research on family systems shows that when one member changes behavior, the system resists before it reorganizes. So if people react when you begin setting limits, that reaction does not automatically mean the boundary is unhealthy. It may simply mean it is new. The deeper work is tolerating the discomfort of disappointing others without collapsing into self-doubt. That is where self-respect consolidates. A simple reflection you can use is this. If I respected myself fully in this situation, what would I say or do? Not perfectly, not dramatically, just slightly more aligned. Start small. Boundaries are built through repetition, saying no to one small request, taking time before responding, leaving a conversation when it becomes disrespectful, resting without justifying it. Each time you follow through, your nervous system learns something powerful. I can protect myself and survive the outcome. Over time, self-trust increases, and self-trust is the foundation of self-respect. If you have struggled with boundaries, please hear this clearly. Difficulty setting limits does not mean you lack strength. It often means your nervous system learned that connection required self-silencing. Unlearning that takes patience. I have created a free audio download self-esteem affirmations to rewire your inner dialogue and silence negative self-talk and start reprogramming your mind. This audio is designed to help you strengthen your inner voice, reduce self-criticism, and build the internal foundation that makes boundaries easier to set. You will find the link in the description below. And if you would like to go deeper into rebuilding self-worth, healing people-pleasing patterns, and strengthening emotional stability, you can explore my digital course with Hypnosis, a hidden secret to healthy self-esteem. If this video supported you, please subscribe and share it with someone who may be quietly struggling to say no. Setting boundaries is not about becoming harder. It is about becoming more aligned. And alignment is where self-respect grows.